All right, let's get into this. This was such a good episode. This season is killing it, honey. The start of this video, I was very interested in. I just wanted to see who Manila had also picked. I was thinking, of course, it's gonna have been Monet. But what I wasn't expecting was kind of this, like I was thinking it's definitely gonna be Monet, but I wasn't really expecting everyone to be kind of on this level of shock value because I hadn't really thought about what that meant. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of had, but I didn't really think it would solidify a target being put on the back of Manila. But once they realized that Monet was picked, I was like, oh my gosh, they're all like, if she's in the bottom, she's gone straight away. And the more and more, like you guys have been watching some of my videos, well, if you have been, thank you very much, but the more and more I'm getting into this season, the more and more I'm thinking Manila's chance of being in the bottom is kind of, you know, not really something that I think she needs to be worried about because she is killing it. And also I'm in a place where I think Manila is deservingly doing the best at this point. Like she's killing every challenge. She's a real front runner to win this at this point. I thought Valentina was going to be in the top 4. At this point, I don't think it's anymore, which as Monet was saying, she was thinking she was going to be in the top as well. That's just not, I think Valentina or Naomi are the next on the chopping block. The fact that Trinity did so badly is really disappointing as well because now Manila hasn't fumbled at all, like at all. And Trinity has, so it's kind of like, oh, well, Manila deserves the crown unless she fumbles, then they'll be on the same level. But I don't know if I really see Manila fumbling. You know what I mean? Like she's just so kind of her head is so screwed on at the moment and she's killing all of the looks and she's just like risen to this occasion and really showing the new girls how an older season queen does it. And I'm really happy about this. There is something that I just did want to mention on this topic as well because it was kind of looming in my head after I uploaded the video and I'd love to hear what you guys think about it too. Is this whole idea that maybe Manila had lost that lip sync on purpose so she didn't have to send her friend because she wanted Latrice to go, which would be like a really strict, because she has been talking a lot about how she's going to play her own game, and getting rid of Latrice is kind of like getting rid of her biggest competition because that lip sync, we have to admit, we know Manila can be an amazing lip syncer, but that lip sync wasn't like tearing the roof off like she said. So it is possible that she did that on purpose, but I don't think that's in her personality to do that, but I also don't know Manila personally, so who could be sure? And, well, actually, no, I'm not done. How would you feel being Manila in this situation, like, where everyone is obviously seeing like they're against you at this point, and you don't have a single friend in this whole drama at all? I mean, it seemed like she was still trying to be buddy-buddy with everyone, but everyone there was ready to stab her in the back at any moment, and she knew that by them, like, holding each other's hands and stuff. Weird feelings. Weird emotions. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I would feel so unwelcome in that situation, but she seems to be just living. And then later on in the episode, we saw her kind of like explain herself very well. The thing she did in that moment that was really wrong is that she should have said that she wasn't going to play by her own rules still in that moment. She really just like, to be a strategic player in this game, that's when she needed to say she would be going off the report card. Like, that was her moment to play a strategic, like, she could still play the game the way she wanted to, but she needed to play the players by making them think that from this point on, she would be doing the report card situation, you know? Because then, you know what I'm saying? Do you follow that logic? In this season, I am really loving Monique. Like, Monique in the last season was like kind of hit or miss for me. She kind of annoyed me a little bit, to be honest. But in this season, she didn't annoy me. That's probably the bad word to use. She just kind of, there was an air about her that was just like, I think she felt like she could have done better if she had more money, or she could have, there was some level of injustice going on in her season, but she's just so professional about this whole, like the whole season. She's like, I am going to win this. I am going to do my best. And this is how this is going to go down. And she's doing really well as well. This was definitely a safe for her. If they didn't do the whole weird everyone's in the bottom situation, she wouldn't have been in the bottom. She would have just been safe. Kill it, but she definitely gave it her best. Like, she tried a real creative new way of doing things. I'm just really enjoying Monet. Ru's chat with Valentina was not helpful. There's nothing more I want to say about that. It was just like usually Ru will come in and say something really profound. He tried to say something really profound, but in that case, Valentina, I think, left more confused than she was before he came over. So when it came to the actual challenge itself, Monet killed it. This episode for Monet was amazing. That final look on the runway was one of my favorite looks, not only from Monet, but just from like any queen in general. I'm doing this stall at the moment, which this is like a little bit of a tangent, but I'm putting together all these artworks at the moment, and I have this idea, which I've now learned was not an original idea, but where I want to be making drag queens to have like Pokemon, like being a Pokemon trainer, and I'll draw like the Pokemon that I think would be in their team around them. Apparently someone's done like a pixel art of that. I don't want to look at it. Don't link it to me anywhere. I don't want to accidentally copy them. I get Monet as a Pokemon trainer. I'm definitely going to be putting her in that outfit and then just like having all of these red and white Pokemon around her. That would look sick. Anyway, that was a complete different tangent. Side note, if you want to see some of my artwork, you can go to my Instagram, which will be in the description. LimoDimi. Trinity was just really hard to watch. I didn't enjoy that at all. I felt very uncomfortable. I didn't like her makeup either. I could see what she was trying to do, but it just kind of looked really bare. I felt a number of different things. First of all, it was just really awkward. And then I really wanted Trinity to be doing really well, but she just wasn't. So it was really hard to watch. Naomi was really hard to watch as well. Most of them were really hard to watch, actually. Valentina, yeah, I wasn't even laughing. I was more just like at her because it just wasn't very good. Now, I've got to kind of put into context that I don't know what I would have done in that situation either. I also would have been really cringeworthy. You know what I mean? I feel like the easiest way to do a roast, and I am not a comedian, I am not somebody who should ever be giving comedic advice because I don't know how to be a comedian, but I feel like the way to do a roast is to kind of like compliment them and then cut them down. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot. I was like, well, what would have I done in that situation? Like, this is a really hard challenge to be comedic off the front, because comedians they write jokes and then they go out on stage, they say what's a hit and what's a miss, they get rid of the misses and they keep the hits. And the thing with this is these guys have to use like all original content and they have no idea what's going to be a hit or a miss, so they could potentially have a whole lot of misses, and that's it. So what I'm thinking is like the safest way to do a roast is kind of like, Lady Bunny is the most generous, sweetest person, which is what I would have said if she wasn't a complete bitch. You know, like, that's how I think is the safest way to do a roast. Just keep complimenting and then try and find a way to break her down again. You know, like, that joke wasn't even that funny, but it's got the formula of like a roast. You know what I mean? Maybe. See, I don't know. It's hard. I feel like someone maybe should have came out as the Grim Reaper. That would have been kind of cool. Anyway, Manila again kind of came out there like she owned the stage. Like she was just gonna, you know, she already had her personality, her character in spot. Was it the best roast we've ever seen from any queen ever? No, I mean, Bianca kind of takes that because that's her job. Trixie can kind of kill that whenever she wants to. It wasn't the best roast ever, but was it the funniest there? Actually, no, I think Monet's was the funniest. But she did an amazing job. Like, she had a little... I thought she was going to be doing more with that. I think instead of her reading off the will to the other contestants, she really should have been reading off the will to the judges panel. Like, that would have made more sense in a way, to me anyway. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. When this was all happening and we were like waiting to hear who was going to be in the bottom, my original thought was Trinity's going to be in the bottom. And then whoever else is in the bottom with Trinity is going home. Basically, because you couldn't send Trinity home, period. But now that I think about it, I think maybe like Monet and Naomi and Valentina would have been in the bottom, which in that case, I don't know who would have gone home. I think probably Valentina would have been sent home because that would have been the second time she was in the bottom. You know what I mean? Valentina's not killing it. Valentina running out of time for her eyes is just bizarre to me. That just... first of all, she shouldn't have admitted that she ran out of time for her eyes. She should have said, oh, I thought it would be funny if I took that off. I thought it would be shocking. You know, like, she shouldn't have admitted to that. The look on Ru's face when she admitted to that was like, you're in the bottom. Like, it's just kind of like, at least she should have pretended like she was trying to make it a part of her act, because she was coaxing Ru to have her take off the glasses. And then when she did, it kind of seemed like it was a bit, you know? And it was, and she admitted that it wasn't. I mean, no, don't do that, honey. As I said at the beginning of this season is killing it. And I'm so glad because I've been a little bit worried about the direction of Drag Race with what happened on All Stars 3 because that was just a mess. But All Stars 2, the fact that he's now, Ru has suspended the rules of All Stars rules, and that we've got the guys come back, which they always will. I am so interested in seeing what happens next episode. I don't know what they've got planned. It must be that it's something like the eliminated queens maybe are in a team against the staying queens, and if the eliminated queens win, one of them gets to come back and they choose who goes or something like that, which would be, I don't know, is that kind of what, have they already done that before? I feel like maybe they've done that before. But in the promo, I think it looked like the eliminated queens were choosing a lipstick, so they must be choosing someone to go and for one of them to come back. You know? I mean, there is always a case of them having someone come back. So someone's gonna come back, potentially. I don't know. I'm just so excited about this whole thing. But I love how they all looked shocked that this was a development, that they were like returned from the dead. And did you see how Farrah was the only one in color and everyone else was in black? Like, the producers obviously said, you're going to a funeral. You know, it was all very much like you're raising from the dead, blah, blah, and Farrah's like, oh, red, stunning. Anyway, guys, I'm not finished, actually. No, the lip sync song at the end was very low energy. That was a really weird lip sync. Also, I am so interested in seeing who they picked because that is some producer television shit right there. That is gonna cause ripples throughout because Manila might have played her game or she might have gone off report card. And if she didn't go off report card, that target is like tattooed into her back at this point. Monet probably chose report card, and then that's gonna, oh my God, if she chose Valentina, Valentina's gonna be pissed because she is a little bit delusional. Anyway, I love her. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing if you're new here. If you didn't enjoy this, don't worry about it. I would love to get a like from you guys. That would really help me see if you liked this. I mean, I always take things from certain videos. I'm like, oh, okay, that video did really well. I'll try and keep that level of energy. Oh, that video didn't do really well. Let me figure out why. So if you hit the like button, I can see if the elements of this video did well. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thanks.